When it comes to full-on superbike machines, no question, Suzuki has some major fans and followers around the world, since it's always been a top competitor in the world of superbike racing and MotoGP. However, it's been a while since Suzuki revised its flagship machine. 2012 brought updated exhaust, suspension, and brakes, but the last major change was back in 2009. Which makes this all-new rocket so exciting. I mean, the GSX-R1000R is all new. New chassis, engine, electronics, the works. In the engine department, the changes are long and impressive. Smaller, lighter, titanium are the three key words here. That's all you need to know. Then you've also got variable valve timing, variable intake runners, and cassette transmission. And speaking of transmission, this R model showcases Suzuki's all-new bilateral quick shifter, and I've gotta say, it's amazing. Let's see, what else? There's 3 engine modes, 10-level traction control modes with Suzuki's new IMU telemetry sensor system. Right, so I mean, smaller engine means smaller, lighter frame. Add to that top-shelf Showa suspension bits and ditto Brembo brakes, and I believe you're starting to get the picture. The bike looks and feels like a 600, even though it's a thou. Imagine a 600 with nearly 200 ponies. Very impressive, but you don't have to take my word for it. Here now is a virtually speechless professional riding instructor after a little test ride. So Ryan, super hot day for a super sports bike. Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
I know you've been baking in the hot sun, but you've also been riding a pretty nice bike.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it, 100% worth it.
What was your first impression when you rolled up today at Suzuki and picked it up?
I thought it was a 600. I didn't even know. It looks like a 600 to me, nice and small. Not like what I'm used to. The older 1000s were big and bulky.
Yeah. What about the engine? You fired it up, off you went. What was your first impression?
Super smooth, off the bottom, super smooth. Actually felt like a 600, and then once you cracked on the throttle, you knew you were on a 1000 bike.
I think I might burn through a tank of gas just doing roll-ons because it sounds so cool. Suspension-wise, again, this is the R version, so you get the absolute best in terms of Showa suspension, fully adjustable.
It's got everything you need there, yeah, and more.
I know this is perfect for a track day tool, great if you want to do some track days, but how does that translate to a street bike? Was it comfortable to ride?
Yeah, very comfortable. A little bit aggressive, more than I'm used to on the bikes I've been riding lately, but I got used to it real quick, and I enjoy it.
What about the riding? You mentioned the riding position. It was a little more aggressive than you're used to?
Yeah, just a bit, but my wrists and everything for the last couple hours, my wrists have been good, so yeah, got used to it.
Now with the 1000R, you get the bi-directional shift assist, and basically, other than needing a clutch for first gear for launching, you don't need the clutch.
It's almost like having a semi-automatic transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird for me not using the clutch, trying to just use the shifter.
Yeah.
And it took me a bit, but once I got used to it, what a beautiful system.
Yeah, it shifts so smoothly on the upshifts and downshifts. It actually is matching revs for you.
Blips the throttle.
Blips the throttle.
I wanted to blip the throttle and it was doing it for me, so.
So what would be your lasting impression of this motorcycle? What's the one thing that you're going to take away on this?
I might go and buy one. I may actually go and buy one.
Really?
Yeah. I got away from 1000s years ago and stayed with 600s.
Yeah.
But I might go back just by the way this bike handled and felt. Felt like I was riding a 600 with double the horsepower. So.
Obviously, we're not going to recommend this to a beginner because there's a ton of horsepower here, right?
Yeah, there is 3 modes, but even in the lowest mode, it's not for a beginner for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So who could you see owning a bike like this? What would you do with it?
Somebody that's owned 1000s in the past, getting back into it. They do some track days, they ride on the street. You can do everything with it, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I know this is a tough question to ask, but did anything disappoint you? I mean, you're talking about buying one now.
No, I've always been a Yamaha guy, so I was a little skeptical getting on a Suzuki, and everything's been good. They've come a long way, like I said earlier, they've come a long way with everything. Yeah.
So nothing disappointed?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. You did a fantastic job.
Thanks.
Thanks for riding for us.